Well, we're Sam and Nancy Clawson. We're from Phoenix, Arizona. Nancy was a native there, and I moved there in 1993 from Ohio. We moved to Volcán, Panama on September 11th of 2019. We started looking into moving abroad in January of 2019, and Malaysia was one of the places that came up in our search, and Nancy didn't want to move there.
Nope.
So we decided to look for other locations, and Panama came up almost immediately after that. And we knew that we had to move abroad because the only way for me to retire was to cut our expenses, and to do that we had to move abroad. We started looking into Panama, and we found Jackie's Panama Relocation Tour. Once I found her website that had 60 plus pages, we just were inundated with information, and we decided at that point in February of 2019 to book her tour. So we ended up booking a tour in February for the July tour. That was the second tour she operated in July. Panama has a number of attributes that were really good for us. One, they still use the US dollar as their currency. They're in the Eastern time zone, which only left us a couple hours different than the Phoenix time zone. And then the weather here has been ideal for us because we were looking for cooler temperatures after living in Phoenix for 20 years. And 75 to 60 in Volcán is really a nice temperature for us. The main reason we moved to Panama is so that we could spend more time together. I wanted to retire early, so I'm 57 years old. I'm not going to say my wife's age, but she's a little older than me and is already taking Social Security and has a pension. So it was a way for us to be able to spend more time together and then retire early. We've really enjoyed that so far. Our neighborhood in Volcán is really peaceful and quiet, which we're looking for. After living in the big city of Phoenix, we wanted a smaller community setting. We walk to town, it's a mile to the main stores for us to walk. And then when we look out to the east, we see the highest mountain in Panama, which is Volcán Boru, and the sun comes up right over top of it every morning, and we get great sunrises. And then when we look to the west, we've got beautiful pine trees towards the city that are just gorgeous, and we have great views every morning. The main thing we like living in Panama, especially Volcán, is the friendliness of the people. Every day that we walk into town, people are just so friendly and help us out. Since we don't know Spanish very well, they I don't want to say tolerate, but they help us learn the language. We've met a young man down at the Panaderia, California, #2, Ricardo, and he slows down his speech so that we can learn Spanish easier, and that's just a great thing for us.
The worst experience we've had so far is learning to wait. In Phoenix, everything's rush, rush, rush. Here is very laid back, very slow. We walk everywhere, we don't have a car, so we have to sit and wait for our taxi cab to come pick us up and wait for him to pick us up again and bring us back. The other thing that we're learning to deal with is getting directions. They don't have house numbers, they don't have street numbers, so we have to be more observant when we're walking to find the yellow house or the azul house or the verde house to find our way to different locations. So that's been a challenge.
But it's also been good because now we walk more than we did when we were in Phoenix, and it's the nicer weather to do that. So it has good and bad to it as well. Some pleasant surprises for us have been the variety of fruits and vegetables that are available here that weren't available in the States. Some of them look pretty bad. You're trying to wonder, should I really eat that or not? But we did. We adventurous, and we said, why not? Let's try it. And most of the fruits and vegetables have been incredibly delicious, and we know that they're nutritious after reading things on the websites. So we we found a new taste and flavor for different foods since we've been here. Our average monthly expenses, we've chosen to have about a $2,000 budget. We're renting right now for everything included is $750 with utilities and everything. So that gives us about $1,200 to spend during the rest of the month. And we don't have health care insurance, or we don't have car insurance, and we don't have homeowners insurance to deal with. So that works well for us. It gives us a chance to go out and take a lot more adventures than we did in Phoenix. And we're funding our lifestyle with a couple rentals in Phoenix. Nancy has Social Security and a pension, and then my 401k, I'll draw that down until my Social Security starts at 62. Some of the things we've missed or will miss, we were big D-backs fans, baseball fans in Arizona. So we watched most of the games either on TV, or we had season tickets to go down to about 10 games a year. So we'll miss that, but we can occasionally pick a game up when they're in season. And then we found out that in David, which is about an hour away, they have a new baseball stadium. So we're thinking of going down there and watching a few games there. So our internet is cable onda. The landlord pays for that. It's fast. He used to run a business here, so we know that we have the fastest internet that we can have. We've never had outages here with the internet. We've always been able to get on, except when the power goes out. When the power goes out, the internet goes out for some reason. And then we've chosen Movistar as our cell phone provider. We went down to David a few weeks ago and got our plan set up, and we're paying $45, whereas we were paying $70 in the United States.
We've been married for 20 years, and this is the first time in our 20 years that we've been actually lived alone. We've had my children from my first marriage in and out of the house. We did foster care. We took care of it. We had his parents living with us, so our house was a revolving door at times. So now it's just him and I, and we get to spend a lot of quality time together and enjoy each other.
It's almost like newlyweds again. Every time we go out, we meet somebody new. We've met many different expats. We've got a few Panamanians that have helped us get along once we're in Volcán. But the neat thing was, when we got our documents authenticated in Los Angeles, we met a family that I think there were 3 of them, a mother and 2 sisters, and they were getting some type of documents done. They gave us all their information about their other sister that lives in David, and we have been in contact with her since we've been here, and we're going to go have lunch with her tomorrow when we go to David to go shopping. When we started looking into Panama, we found the Panama Relocation Tours and Jackie Lyon. When you look at her website, 60 plus pages of information, some people would think it's information overload. I'm an information junkie. I loved every sentence she wrote, all the resources she has. It was incredible. And then when talking to Melissa, booking the trip, it just was flawless. And then they gave us their travel agent in Boquete, Andrea Cook, and she charged us $50 for booking everything. So we didn't have any of that headache to try to figure out how to get here and get home. She took care of all that. Then on the tour, we met all kinds of great people. We ate all kinds of great food, stayed in great places. You just get to ride in the bus, and Jackie during that time talks about all the information that isn't on her website. So taking the tour, you get all the more information from her that she shares, let alone a booklet that's about 100 pages of contacts. And then after the tour, you're on the alumni page of her Facebook, which you share all kinds of information too. So it's incredible what she does and what she's done in the 10 years that she's been doing the tours, and we really appreciate Jackie.
Highly recommended.